Very warm wishes of the day, my dear lovely students. How are you all? I hope everyone is staying home safely and taking care of yourself and the everyone around you. Before I start my class, let's start the day with a beautiful message which says that there is a cycle to success also. And what is that cycle? When you think, you get an idea, and when you got the idea, what you do? You start trying that thing, and when you try, you are actually doing that thing. If not succeeded, you will do it again, you will do it again and again, and you will keep doing it until you reach to the success. So success is a very simple mantra that means you have to keep trying to achieve the success. Hello everyone, this is Gunjan. I welcome you all to my GK classes. So today we are going to discuss another important chapters and boost our knowledge. Want to know the chapters? The chapters are the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Inventions and Discoveries, When, Which, Where. These are the three chapters that we are going to cover in our video class. So let's start. Ready? Okay then, let's start our class. The very first topic, as I told you, is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Do you want to know? Do you want to see the picture of Rashtrapati Bhavan? Okay then. This is the picture of Rashtrapati Bhavan, and now let's study some important points about the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Rashtrapati Bhavan, it is formerly known as Viceroy's House. It was formerly means earlier. It was earlier known as the Viceroy's House. It is the official home of the President of India. That means President of India is the head of the state, right? So whosoever is the head of the state, that means the President of India lives where? In Rashtrapati Bhavan. Right now, who is the President of India? Mr. Ramnath Kovind. It is the second largest presidential place or the official residence of the head of the state in the world. As I told you that it is the place of the head of the state. Now, what is Rashtrapati Bhavan made of? It consists of 4 floors and 340 rooms, which is spread across 2 lakh square feet area. Initially, it was planned to be an entirely European in style, but the building has a lot of Indian elements in it. The statues of elephants on the outer wall, chhatris and jalis are proof of this fact. Means it is not completely based on the European style. It also includes Indian elements in it. The central dome is said to be inspired by Sachi Stupa. So Sachi Stupa is also a famous monument of India. So that means Rashtrapati Bhavan do consist of the Indian elements also. The total area, which includes the Mughal Garden, residence of staff, bodyguard, office, it is around 320 acres. There are 9 tennis courts, a polo ground, a 14-hole golf course and a cricket field. So there are many things inside the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Mughal Garden situated behind Rashtrapati Bhavan boasts a variety of exotic flowers. Means there are many number of flowers there in the Mughal Garden. Some are so rare that they can't be found elsewhere. Means some are very rare, which cannot be seen anywhere else. So it took almost 17 years to complete the Rashtrapati Bhavan. About 700 million bricks, 3 billion cubic feet of stones were used. Means it is huge, and it also take 17 years to complete. Interestingly, in this monument we would hardly find any steel. Next is Rashtrapati Bhavan is open for visitors from Friday to Sunday with a nominal fees. Visitors must take prior permission from whom? The Deputy Military Secretary, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, was the first President of India after India gained independence. Right now, as I told you that Mr. Ramnath Kovind is the current president of India, no president has lived in the suite of viceroys as it was considered too lavish to live in. Now, beside the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the president has two more residents. That means he can also live in Rashtrapati Nilayam, which is in Hyderabad, and the retreat, which is in Shimla. So these are the other two places of Rashtrapati. That means Mr. Ramnath Kovind or the president. Moving ahead. Now, based on this reading, let us find out some answers. The first question says, who was the first president of India? As I already told you, who is the first president of India? He is Mr. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of India. And what do we mean by first president? It means after India gained independence. That means after 15th August 1947, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first person who became the first president of India. Okay, moving ahead. Next question says, who is the president of India? Now students, let me just tell you, now here it is not written who is the first president. If it is simply written that who is the president of India, it means they are asking about the current position. Who is the president of India in the present? So who is the president now? As I already told you, Mr. Ramnath Kovind is the president of India at present. Moving ahead. Next question says, who constructed the Rashtrapati Bhavan? We have already studied that it took 17 years to complete the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and now let us talk about the person. He is the person who has designed the structure of Rashtrapati Bhavan. He is Mr. Edwin Lutyens. Edwin Lutyens is the one who constructed the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Moving ahead. Next question is, when is the Mughal garden open for general public? So my dear students, there is a particular time when the Mughal garden is open for the general public. As I already told you that there are many variety of flowers and there are some rare flowers also which can be found anywhere else, right? So you can see this is the picture of Mughal garden. And when is the Mughal garden open for general public? It is open only in between 5 Feb, that means it is open from 5 February to 12 March. 12 March is the last date when the Mughal garden is open for the general public. Now moving ahead, this is the next question. It says, name the road which runs the Rashtrapati Bhavan to the War Memorial India Gate. Means you have to tell the name of the road. I'll just show you. This is the road which runs from the Rashtrapati Bhavan to the War Memorial India Gate. So this road is known by a particular name which is Rajpath. Rajpath is the name of the road that runs from the Rashtrapati Bhavan to the War Memorial India Gate. Now let's move ahead for our next topic, inventions and discoveries. Inventions and discoveries. Now I'll be discussing about some of the inventions. I will be writing the name of the invention and the year in which they were invented. You have to tell the name of the inventor. So let's start. Okay, so the first is television. Can you tell who invented television? Let's find the answer. He is the person who invented the television in 1926. He is Mr. J.L. Bird. J.L. Bird invented the television. Next in the line we have radio. Radio was invented in 1895, and who invented the radio? Let's find out. He is Mr. Marconi. Marconi invented the radio. As you can see in the picture, he is Mr. Marconi and he is with his radio. Moving ahead is telephone. Who invented the telephone? As name is already written here, and you must be knowing, telephone was invented in 1876, and the person behind this invention is Alexander Graham Bell. Now move. The next invention is about the electric light bulb. Electric light bulb was invented in the year 1878, and who invented this? Mr. Thomas Edison invented the electric light bulb. Now students, I would just suggest you one thing, that like I have break down all the questions on this page of Inventions and Discovery into 5 parts. You can also please divide the page. The help box is also given in your book. Just listen to the video very carefully for the first 5 part, pause the video and then solve the answers by yourself by not looking at the video. Please do not just copy the answer in your book. What you can do is you can simply write the answer of the first 5 parts and then again come back to this video, check your answers whether they all are correct or not, and then similarly proceed for another 5 and another 5, and then you can complete all the 18 inventions in this way. It will help you to memorize it for a longer time. Believe me, it do work, so please do not just copy the answer. First listen carefully and then write the answers yourself with the help of the help box given in your book, and then check your answers from my video. Okay students, and then again listen to the next 5 and then again write them yourself, then check. Follow this procedure, you will definitely improve in your memory skills. Moving ahead for the next invention, which is about the thermometer. Thermometer was invented in 1714. And who invented thermometer? Thermometer was invented by Mr. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. Do you know, in thermometer or in general, we do use the unit Fahrenheit for measuring the temperature. So it is again on the name of the inventor, who is Mr. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. Moving ahead, next in the line we have is mobile phone. Now who invented the mobile phone? Mobile phone was invented in the year 1973, and he is the person behind this invention. Who is he? Mr. Martin Cooper. Martin Cooper is the person who invented the mobile phone in 1973. You can see the person with his invention. Okay, moving ahead is the next, penicillin. Penicillin was invented by Sir Alexander Fleming. Sir Alexander Fleming, as you can see, he is the person behind the invention of penicillin, and it was a great invention. So you can see the work here. Moving ahead for the next is insulin. When was insulin invented? It was invented in the year of 1921, and the person behind this great invention was Mr. Frederick Banting. Frederick Banting was the person behind the invention of insulin. In the line we have is electron. Electron was invented in the year 1897, and who was the person? He is Mr. J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson was the person behind the invention of electron. Okay students, moving ahead. Next is very interesting, the hydrogen bomb. Hydrogen bomb was invented in the year 1952, and who invented this hydrogen bomb? He was Mr. Edward Teller. Edward Teller was the person behind the invention of hydrogen bomb. Now moving ahead for the next 5. Next is we have aeroplane. Aeroplane was invented in the year 1903, and who invented the airplane? There were 2 persons behind the airplane invention, and who were they? Wright brothers. They are commonly known as by the name of the Wright brothers, and their names were Orville and Wilbur. You can simply remember the word Wright brothers. Wright brothers were behind the invention of airplane in the year 1903. Moving ahead, next is Google. Who invented the Google? Google was invented in the year 1998. But who invented? So here is the answer: Larry Page. Larry Page was the person behind the invention of Google. Next we have is stethoscope. Stethoscope was invented in the year 1816. Who invented the stethoscope? The person behind this invention was Rane Laennec. Rane Laennec was the person behind the invention of stethoscope, and you can see the invention in the picture also. Moving ahead, next we have is diesel engine. Diesel engine was invented in the year 1890, and who invented the diesel engine? The name of the person is Rudolf Diesel. See, the diesel engine is basically on the name of the inventor only. Rudolf Diesel was the name, and Rudolf Diesel invented what? Diesel engine. So it is also easy to remember. Next we have is helicopter. Helicopter was invented in the year 1939. And who invented helicopter? Behind the invention of helicopter, the person was Igor Sikorsky. So how can you learn this? Just make I and Gor. I, Gor. So it is Igor. And how can you learn this spelling? Sik, okay, S-I-K, Sik, or, O-R, and then sky. So it's quite easy to remember. Sik or sky. Sik or sky. So basically you will be able to learn now Igor Sikorsky. Next, now let's move ahead for the next batch. Next we have is automobile. Automobile was invented in the year 1886. See the picture, it's very interesting. So automobile, who invented automobile? The person behind this great invention was Carl Benz. Carl Benz invented the automobile in the year 1886. Moving ahead, we have dynamite. Who invented the dynamite? The person behind the invention of dynamite in the year 1867 was Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel was the person behind the discovery of dynamite. Now next in the line we have is X-rays. X-rays were invented in the year 1895, and who invented X-rays? Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen. Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen was the person behind this great invention of the X-rays. These were the few inventions and discoveries which I have discussed today, and I hope you will be able to write them yourself with the help of the help box in your book now. Now let's discuss the another topic: when, which and where. Ready? So let's go. So the next topic is when, which and where. Our first question is, which is the highest waterfall? Now which is the highest waterfall? Can you tell me? Here is the picture of the highest waterfall, and the name of the same is Kunchikal Falls, Karnataka. Kunchikal Falls in Karnataka are the highest waterfalls. Again I will repeat that what you can do is there are total 12 questions on this page, so you can simply divide either in the 3 equal parts of 4, that means 4 questions at once, and then 4, or you can simply divide 5 plus 5 plus 2. So the choice is yours, you can always just remember. Now moving ahead for the next question. Next question is, which is the largest freshwater lake? Let's find the answer. The answer of this question is Wooler Lake. Wooler Lake is the largest freshwater lake. Moving ahead for the next question. It says, which is the largest gulf in the world? So which is the largest gulf in the world? It is Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico is the largest gulf in the world. Moving ahead, which is the highest populated country? Which is the highest populated country in world? So the answer will be, as you can see in the picture, it's quite clearly written and everyone can tell. The answer is China. China is the highest populated country in the world. Moving ahead for the next question. Next question says, which is the largest and the deepest ocean? Which is the largest and deepest ocean? So, the largest and deepest ocean is the Pacific Ocean. This is a picture of Pacific Ocean. It is the largest and deepest ocean. Moving ahead for the next question. Where is the coldest place on the earth? That means now we are talking about the complete earth. So where is the coldest place on the earth? I'll just show you with the help of the picture. As you can see in the picture, and you can easily tell that it is actually coldest place. So the name of this place is Antarctica. Antarctica is the coldest place on the earth. Moving ahead for the next question. When is the International Yoga Day celebrated? So it is celebrated on 21 June. 21 June is the day when International Yoga Day is celebrated. It is also the National Yoga Day celebrated on 21 June only. Moving ahead for the next question. Next question says, when was the United Nations formed? So you have to tell in which year and on which date United Nations were formed. So the answer is 24th October 1945. That means in the year of 1945 and 24th October, on the date 24th October 1945, United Nations were formed. Moving ahead for the next question. It says, which is the longest freshwater lake in the world? Now we are talking about the longest. See, there is a difference between longest, highest, largest. So please do not confuse with these words. Now here it is written longest. So let's talk about this longest freshwater lake in the world. In the world, the longest freshwater lake is Lake Tanganyika. So I will just help you to remember this spelling. Basically, you can just break this word. You can simply break it into Tang, T-A-N-G, Tang, N-E, A-N-Y-N-E, Ika, I-K-A, Tang, N-E, Ika. So I hope it will help you to learn. Now moving ahead for the next question. It says, which place is known as the land of rising sun? So, do you know the place? Okay, now you can easily tell it with the help of the picture. The place is Japan. Japan is known as the land of rising sun. Moving ahead, this question says, which is the least populated country? Which is the least populated country in the world? So, this is the place which is the least populated country, and the name of this place is Vatican City. Vatican City is the place where the population is least. Moving ahead, this is our last question. It says, which is the coldest place on the earth? Okay, so which is the coldest place on the earth? Earlier also we have discussed one such question where you were asked that which is, earlier you were asked where is the coldest place on the earth. That time I have just, I think it was, the question was where is the coldest place, and now they are asking which is the coldest place. That means earlier you were asked the location, and now you were asked the exact place. So the place is in Russia. It is Verkhoyansk. Again you can divide the spelling, Verkhoyansk. It is in Russia. Earlier the question was related to the place, that where is the coldest place on the earth, And now you are asked which is the coldest place. So there is a difference between the two questions. So student, that's all for today. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. Thank you all.